Welcome back to Extraordinary. I'm your host, Keanu Trujillo, founder of Alchemy Co-working. Alchemy is the process of taking the ordinary and turning it into the extraordinary. And that's what we do here is we talk about the ordinary, making it extraordinary for you or your business or your plans. And today I have a story to tell you. People don't want your help. These words struck me to my core. What do you think when I say that? People don't want your help. Well, I'll tell you the story. The person that told me this and the person that changed my mindset on building a business, on sales forever. I was a 24-year-old rookie financial rep with Northwestern Mutual. I was struck because I had built my careers on help. The 5 years leading to this moment were spent in corrections, law enforcement, the military. Everything was about help. It was about service. And even before that, my first real job was as a lifeguard. So it was always service. It was always helping. So I asked, what do you mean people don't want to be helped? I was ready to die on this hill, that people deserve to be helped. People need to be helped. We're here to help them. And at that time, it was through financial services. I was ready to battle. Instead, I chose to ask and listen. What do you mean? I asked. The man who shared this with me was a man named Charles Padilla. To say he was a veteran in the sales industry would be an understatement. Charles started selling insurance in college at the University of New Mexico and was now in his 70s. So for over 50 years, he had experience and understood what it meant to connect with people and to serve them. But people don't want your help. Maybe I should shut up and listen, I thought to myself, so I leaned in. What do you mean? I asked. Charles, in his abrupt and direct tone, said, I mean what I said. People don't want your help. People don't need help. Okay, Charles, please get to your point, I thought. Instead, I said, if they don't want help, what do they want? He smiled and a hint of pride in his grin like a teacher whose student finally understood the lesson. Now you're asking a better question, he smiled. They want value. This changed my whole outlook. This changed my life. I started to see things through a lens of value and not of help. And I realized that this was true. I spent a year in financial services before I then went into ministry, and I learned valuable lessons there. And then going into business for myself in 2020 and building my consulting businesses, people truly don't want to be helped. There's a sense of pride that every person carries, that it's not about help, it's about value. How are you adding value to someone's story? At that time, via financial services, they don't want to be helped with their finance. They want to find value in understanding that their insurance needs are taken care of, they're investing in the right things, they're building and planning for their future. And then I learned in ministry after that even then people didn't want to be helped. They were in a situation where, one, their relationship with the Lord was becoming pertinent. It was becoming a larger part of their life. But it was also about the value that was adding to their life as the person they were becoming, the families that they were raising, the spouse that they were becoming. And even then, in my role with the church that I was in before I started my own business, was in leadership development. It was in building leaders that ultimately added value to every area of their life. And as I got into consulting, I started to really think about this. And I'm so grateful for Charles. He's since passed, and I'm so thankful for all the lessons that he shared with me. But he was truly right. When he was able to build a business, again, that's an understatement. He built several businesses, but to exist in the financial services realm for 50 years, this man understood value. He understood how to find out what someone was trying to accomplish and how to add value to their journey. So when I look at that from a sales perspective, when you're thinking about meeting with a client, when I was working in consulting, what is the thing that's most valuable to them? What are they trying to accomplish, whether it be hiring or adjusting their culture, working with their leadership team? What was most valuable and how could I add value there? Not to help them, not to be someone that's saying, well, you can't figure it out yourself, so let me do it, but to say, I want to add to your journey. And what does that look like? What's the thing that I can do? Where's the area that I can add the most direct value? And now I agree wholeheartedly. People don't want help. People want value. How are you positioning your product, your service, your business as a value add? And I know that's, you're probably thinking, well, of course I want to add value, but are you leading with that lens? Are you leading with that mindset? Then I'm not here to help you. I'm here to support your journey. And it reminds me of Donald Miller and StoryBrand. And StoryBrand is an ancient framework that every good story, every good movie, we've touched on this in a previous episode, it has that story arc where there's a hero that's trying to accomplish something. Your clients are the hero. And then there's always a guide. There's someone that's there to support them on their journey to help them reach their destination. You are the guide. How are you that person? You're not the hero. There's only room for one hero in every story. And if you're positioning yourself as the hero in their story, that's in conflict. And you're going to find yourself frustrated that you're not closing the clients that you thought you would because you're positioning yourself as you're the hero. And I get this, understandably, 100%. It's my personality that I want to be that hero. I think back on the careers that I had before I met Charles and how I was wanting to help people. It made me feel good. It was something that I could do that added value to my story, but how did it add value to other people? And before I went into finance, I was in recruiting for the Army National Guard in New Mexico. And I didn't understand this. And I suffered in that career because of it. I didn't understand how was this really adding value to this journey. And yes, I did and said the right things for whatever reason they wanted to join the military, or for whatever reason it might have made sense. But if I would have positioned myself as the guide, I would have positioned myself as the person who's adding value, it would have been different. So as I look at it now with Alchemy Co-working, every tour that I give, every person that I plug in to our community here, I'm understanding their story. What place are they in building their business? Are they just getting started like many of our businesses? Or are they already established? They're looking to go to the next level or create some stability in their business. What's the area that we can add the most value through our space and through our community? So I would ask you that. This is going to be a very short episode this week, but I want to ask you that. How do you position yourself as understanding and going into every conversation? I'm not here to help. These people don't need my help. They need value. And how am I giving the most value and in what ways? And that could be as simple as being a real estate agent or someone who's in sales services, whether it be mortgage or insurance, whatever it may be. What's the greatest value? It's probably more difficult for you being that person if you're that person listening to this because, well, I'm selling a home or I'm selling insurance. You need to think beyond that. What's the story that you're helping them to craft? What's the story? What's the dream that they're going to realize because you're telling that story? Look, co-working is something that could be very simple. It's space, right? It's selling space, a desk, an office, or what have you. But we're not selling that here. I have not sold a single office or desk by selling the space. I've sold the vision. I've sold the value of what does it mean when you plug into a community like this, and you know that every person that you're shoulder to shoulder with every day is on your team. The person that you can celebrate with, the person that you can mourn with when you have a bad week or you have a client lost or an opportunity lost. What kind of value is that to you? I'm not here to help you. I'm just presenting the guide, the community that can help you to get there. And I'm so grateful again. I can't emphasize enough how grateful I am to Charles for teaching me this lesson because it changed everything for me. And now I wanted to share that with you. One, in part to honor Charles's legacy and the life that he lived and the value that he created over his 50 plus years in the industry and in business, but to share that lesson and carry it forward with you. People don't want your help. I want you to tell yourself that when you go into every client meeting or every new prospect or lead meeting. They don't want my help. They want value. How can I find out what's most valuable to them and position myself as the guide to their hero and help them along their journey? Thank you for joining me on another episode, a quick yet impactful episode of Extraordinary. Alchemy is the process of taking the ordinary and turning it into something extraordinary. And I can't wait to see the alchemy of what this episode means in your life and for your business. Please subscribe and follow on YouTube if you're watching this via YouTube, or if you're on an audio platform, please subscribe and follow and share with someone in your life or on your team that needs this mindset shift. Because the final thing that I'll say is the person that wants to add help is still in some ways subconsciously prideful and making it about themselves. I'm here to help. I am the hero, and it is affecting their business. But if they adopt the mindset of adding value to someone's story and to someone's journey, it's going to change everything. We'll see you next week.